Crown Tundra review.
Gotcha! What?
Well, hello everyone. As you can see in that little snippet I did there, that was 10 out of 10 cringe. But what's not going to be cringe is the Crown Tundra. Now, for those who haven't played it, or don't know what Pokemon is, there's DLC for it. I mean, it's for Pokemon. I mean, Pokemon's stupid that way. They implement something into the game that you had to pay for. Well, it should have been already in the game in the first place. Cough, cough, Olive Armor. But I am deciding to do a Crown Tundra one because the Olive Armor was absolute, utter garbage. I mean, yeah, Urshifu is kind of nice and all, but Crown Tundra, that's where it's really at. So I decided to do this review, going over the Crown Tundra, and I'll be adding some gameplay in the background, so you can just see some of the stuff that I've done on the game, getting the Regis and all them. So let's get into the review very quickly.
Soldier Boy, hey, I got the new dance for y'all called Soldier Boy.
Alright, so part 1 of judging the Crown Tundra, we'll be going through the legendary birds, which is Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos, but in their Galarian forms. Now, honestly, I really like the designs, especially for the likes of Zapdos. I like the fact that he can just go, Licky, go, pop, pop! Oh god. Sorry about that, but back to the designs. So Zapdos I really like because of its legs. It's unique out of the two, so because it doesn't fly, instead runs like an ostrich. Anyways, onto Articuno. Now Articuno, I prefer least out of the three. That's probably just because bias because I'm on Team Valor on Pokemon Go. I understand. But, anyways, I actually kind of do like the design for Articuno a lot more than Zapdos. Well, I love Zapdos. It's amazing. Articuno, I think, is better. Probably because it's known as the cruel Pokemon. It's a massive dick, I should say. And, it's hateful. Like, a couple people I know. Anyways, Moltres. Let's talk about Moltres. Moltres is really good. Of course, this is probably just biased, because I'm on Team Valor. But, honestly, Moltres looks amazing. Dark and Flying suits it well. It really does. And I think Nintendo deserves for their part on creating such good designs of the birds and making creative ways on how to get them. Those ways being by putting them in as roaming legendaries. And they're roaming legendaries. Moltres you can find on the Isle of Armor, Articuno you find in the Crown Tundra, and Zapdos you have to go to the wild area for. Having to search for them and the way that you do search for them is really unique. Because Moltres just flies around. You gotta try and get its attention. Zapdos, you have to chase after it, and it's really fast. It's a nice little challenge in a race. And Articuno, it just spawns out of nowhere, so you don't even know what it's gonna be. So those are my opinions on those. I don't have any gameplay footage of me catching them, but they are very creative ways to search and hunt for legendaries, and I think Nintendo deserves a good reputation for that. But I really do hope they implement these things into games without them being DLC, because I think a lot of people would love these, and they get a lot more money from people buying the copies. Okay, so part 2, the Regis. Now, the Regis, I particularly enjoy. Probably because of the challenge. For the first, really, before I looked at a tutorial on how to get the Regis, I don't even know how to even unlock any of the doors. Except for Regidrago and Alecki. So anyways, the Regis are Regidrago, Regieleki, Regice, Registeel, and Regirock. Now, of course, there's Regigigas, but I haven't gotten him yet because I don't know anyone really who could trade me a Regieleki. Anyways, so really, I love the Regis. They're good. That's all I can say. They give you a good challenge trying to catch them. And, I mean, Regidrago and Regieleki have great designs, and Nintendo really outdid themselves on them. So I can't say anything bad about it. And they're just really good in general. So I'm probably gonna be talking for like another few minutes, because this is gonna be a particularly long video. You know, just about going over the entire Crown Tundra. And honestly, the Regis are probably one of my favorite parts about it. Probably because you get 5 legendaries just for doing it. I mean, that's what the Crown Tundra is all about. It's all about the legendaries. You know, when do you ever get like a DLC that is focused on some of the most powerful things in the game? You know, legendaries are the most powerful Pokemon in the entire meta. Literally, if you're a legendary, you're probably almost guaranteed an OU, which is like the highest tier of Pokemon for competitive. And I mean, the Regis, they're just their backstories. That's what really gets me, because it makes me want to imagine what possibly Regidrago was like if Regigigas never ran out of crystallized dragon energy. What would Regidrago look like in its full form? And then, like for Regieleki, what power would it have if it didn't have those restraining bands on it? So, these are the kind of questions and things that get me intrigued and want me to find out more. And these are the things that also make me love the Regis more, because of their backstory and the creativity Nintendo put into them. Okay, part 3. Glastrier, Spectrier, and Calyrex. Now, these guys are the main legendaries of the story, Calyrex being the king of bountiful harvest, and Spectrier / Glastrier being the loyal steed to Calyrex. Now, to be fair, Glastrier and Spectrier, they're okay. No, I like the ghost and ice typing they went with, but I think the designs could have been a little bit better. But Calyrex, now of course, that's big brain. Literally, he's got a. I mean, look at his brain. That it's like a crown. That's more like a brain. But anyways, so Nintendo really went again all out. Except for Glastrier and Spectrier. Calyrex, no, they did great on Calyrex. The Glastrier and Spectrier, I'd rate it 8 out of 10. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. So they're pretty good. Better than what Nintendo mostly does. Or Game Freak, I should say. And, I mean, not much to say about that. But the storyline for them in their origins is, you know, it kind of hits. You know? It's really good, and you know how Calyrex guy pretty much ends up like Santa Claus. You know, everyone believed him at first, but then everyone just forgot about him and just didn't care. And it's a great story. You know, it kind of really tops off the Crown Tundra with a cherry on top, and it makes it kind of what makes up the Crown Tundra. It makes the Crown Tundra the Crown Tundra. And it's a really nice story, and to see this coming from a Nintendo, it's really nice that they have such good backstory and behind the scenes looking at it, or I shouldn't say that, but just looking at it from a general perspective, it just looks amazing. And Nintendo did a good job on making this part of the Crown Tundra. And they basically made this is just a Crown. This could have just been the Crown Tundra in general, but Nintendo decided to do really good, and they added this. Now this is probably planned from the start. I don't think the others were, but hey, I'm just glad that they got this into the game and that they made it this good. And you know what? Now it is time for part 4, the overall rating of the Crown Tundra. And now, I know the videos I'm showing on screen are very random and not even relating to Pokemon in the slightest bit. But I'm just going to take this time to say, great job, Nintendo, on making such a great DLC. I don't think any other game company can make a DLC as great as this one. Now, overall, I score the Crown Tundra a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is because of Glastrier and Spectrier. The designs could have been improved. I'll say that. Spectrier I really like, but Glastrier they could have made it appeal to me more instead of just being a solid ice block like the way it is. But so I mean, really, that's all I have to say. And I just want to congratulate Nintendo on making such a good DLC and saying that, if you keep making more of these, Nintendo or Game Freak, Pokemon Company, you will do a lot better than you are right now.